Welcome back, CSE 3200 Yukon Stores. We're in the fourth and final video of Chapter 13 on fragment navigation. Unfortunately, these videos seem to each be long, but I didn't want to break up the individual bullets too much. We're finishing this off by updating the database. Last time we clicked on a list item. It took us to a detail screen which we could interact with, and we could make changes to it. But when we navigated back to the list using the back button, those changes weren't saved. So we're going to have to update the database. First couple of changes we're going to make are going to be relatively simple. We are going to have to make some changes to our data access object in the crime repository and add an update function. So inside of crime DAO, we're going to annotate at update accepted, good. Suspend fund. Update crime. Inside the parentheses, crime of type crime. Suspend. Misspelled. Okay. Go into the crime repository, which interacts with the crime DAO, and we need to make an update crime function here. Right where we're at, looks good. Suspend fund update. Update crime. Passing in crime of type crime. Database. Dot crime DAO. Dot update crime. Passing in crime. Unfortunately, this doesn't quite take care of the problem in its entirety. We're using a view model. It only has two states. It's either alive or it's dead. Whenever we navigate away from the view or the fragment, then the changes are going to get lost. Whenever we do that, the onCleared is going to get called. This is a good time to save our data. So we're going to go into the crime detail view model. And right after our update of the crime, we're going to override unclear, onClear, onCleared, super data uncleared, view model scope dot launch, and inside of the curly braces, hit enter, crime dot value nullable dot let, and inside of the curly braces, crime repository dot update crime it. All right, we're going to run again. And we are going to go into toxic lunch. We'll change it to is solved. And then we will back away. And expecting to see the handcuffs, and we do not. Okay, still not fixed. So the problem is coroutine scopes are tied to the life cycles of their components they're associated with. And for the view model scope property is alive and active as long as the associated view model is. So once the view model is destroyed, all the work running with the view model scope is going to be canceled. We need something that has a bigger scope. We have that. We have such a scope. It is called global scope. And it is a coroutine that is available globally, and it operates throughout the entire application lifecycle. Let's stop this. We are going to go into crime repository, and we're going to make use of global scope. All right, so we're going to put a second value in this constructor, and it is going to be private val coroutine scope colon capital coroutine scope is equal to global scope. We need an import for that. No, we don't. All right. Now we're going to find the update crime. Right here. We are going to put this inside of the coroutine scope.launch. So now it is global, active as long as the application is active. Coroutine scope.launch, begin curly brace, get rid of the end curly brace. We'll tab this over. We'll go ahead and supply our end curly brace, even though we have this error holding us up, and it is probably a import. Okay. Now we no longer are going to need this suspend modifier. And do I get the begin early curly braces? I did. And in crime detail view model, one final change. All right, back in the crime detail view model where we just did the override of on clear. All right, this view model scope, we are now going to be within a global scope, so this is no longer needed. So let's just back this up and let's try it out. Right, so now let's go into toxic lunch, change it to is solved, back out. The handcuffs have appeared. Let's go back into toxic lunch. Let's capitalize the T if we can. We did. Let's go back. And the T is capitalized. So changes that we make to either the edit text or to the is solved are working. We now have a working app. We're not done with it. We are going to add some functionality, but this app is now in some pretty good shape. That is it for Chapter 13. We'll see you in Chapter 14 a little bit later.